Just before I introduce Mary Coll, Grania down the back has asked me to mention the badge that she's selling. It's Artists for the Repeal of the Eighth, and she'd also be very grateful if you consider signing up to her petition down there, please. So it's a great honour for me, and thank you very much, Ellen, for giving me the privilege and pleasure of introducing Mary Coll. I have to say I was very young when I was teaching Mary Coll. It was my first job, and it was in Laurel Hill in Limerick, and it was a wonderful job. I have to say, sorry Mary about this, Grange was my favourite job. Really, Grange Community College, but I loved Laurel Hill and it was a great place to start. And one thing I want, just one very quick anecdote about Mary. She was a real giddy goat in class. We were always having run-ins in a very friendly fashion. But one day she was missing from class, and afterwards she came in and she said, I'm really sorry I was missing from class, but I was at an interview in Dublin for nursing. And I went, what? Mary Coll, a nurse? I said, Mary, if I were in my bed sick and I saw you coming towards me, I think I'd get up and run. I said, why are you not doing English? Because she was so brilliant at English. And I kind of think maybe that had something to do with your change of mind. Maybe it hadn't, but I feel very privileged that our paths have crossed so many times. I ended up as a tutor in UCG, and I was so pleased that I felt nobody would know me in the class as a tutor, because I had got married and had moved to Galway from Limerick. And I looked down, and there was Mary Coll. And I said to her, please, could you go to another tutorial? She said, no, I'm stuck with this one. So she had to put up with me for the year. And the final thing, and I don't think she agrees with me on this one, but I have a fairly good memory for certain things. I bumped into her on the Salmonbury Bridge one day, and she said, I'm going to do a master's. I said, oh, brilliant, fantastic. What's your topic? And she said, don't really know, I can't think of one. I said, what about Kate O'Brien? And she ended up doing a great master's in Kate O'Brien. So I couldn't say better about Mary Coll, and I couldn't be prouder of my two past pupils here. I'm now going to hand over to the great Mary Coll.
Thank you very much. Here I am, nursing's great loss. When Alan said to me, we're going to launch your book in Dublin, he never told me it was going to be the poetry equivalent of MasterChef. I can't imagine anything worse than launching your poetry book in front of about 45 or 50 female poets, your peers. It's a challenging thing to follow that, and I'm hugely honoured to be in this collection, and I'm delighted to be able to read some of my work here today. And I'm going to start with the title poem. It's called Silver, and it's a poem for my daughter Catherine. Silver. How far can I go with this before I scare you? I'd better not say that you are all my joy, all of it. You'd find that too ridiculous and laugh, or that I still watch you sleeping sometimes, because that's just too weird. I won't mention how hard I fight the urge to hold you back almost every time you go to leave, for school, or the cinema, or to walk the dog. Only almost, though. I mean, I'm not that crazy, really. I know you'll come back later than we agreed, always. But then, what if you don't? Where would I take myself then? Maybe that empty car park on the outskirts of madness where no one hears me banging my head on the horn over and over because my throat is too raw from howling and there are no tears left, not even the dust of a tear in the duct of my eye, refusing to silence my grief. Who would do that, you ask, horrified, strolling away from the table, trailing crumbs in your wake? Me, I don't say, to your immense relief, reminding you instead to put the lid on the jam and call me, please, because you are the star attraction in the circus I never ran away to. Spinning effortlessly without a net, while I watch, with one eye closed, in terror, the other wide open in amazement, seeing you sparkle like silver, terrified you catch your death of cold in that costume. We went to Paris on holidays once, my husband and I, And well, it's a poem about our trip to Paris called Just Desserts. In a cafe around the corner from where Marie Antoinette lost her head, you also lose yours over a cake. At home, you inform me, we could have a 3 for the price of a slice here. But we are not at home now, dear. We are in Paris, or at least one of us is. Besides, who needs 3 cakes anyway? You flick through the guidebook, eager to narrate us on our way again, determined not to miss a trick, but then you do. At the next table, the man in the pale grey suit with the mauve silk tie lifts a forkful of impeccable pastry towards the lips of a girl half his age, his hand perfectly poised before them, and they open to him for the umpteenth time that day, while he smiles the smile of one who knows the real pleasure of having his cake and eating it. A couple of years ago, we went on another holiday. It was to the Algarve in Portugal, and we had been there on our honeymoon, and I organised our wedding and my husband organised the honeymoon, and he told me on the day we arrived in Faro Airport on a flight only that Portugal was at my disposal because he had only booked the trip on the previous Monday and we got married on Thursday. And so we eventually found accommodation like you did in those days by following men who used to meet the buses as they came into the Portuguese towns, and we ended up in a little hotel, but this is called Rua. So actually what happened then was, many years later, we went back to the Algarve and I went looking for the hotel because I wanted to show our adult children where her parents had gone on their honeymoon. Rua Candido dos Rei. We are hopelessly lost on the deserted streets of an Algarve town. In blistering heat, the hotel where we honeymooned a lifetime ago refuses to be found. A place not worth discovering the first time, though it mattered little to us then. Coming on it late at night, confetti stuck to the soles of our shoes, your face mutinous under the strain of my 2 large suitcases, my eyes unable to hide the feeling that maybe it was all some terrible mistake. Our adult children are vaguely amused. It's the most we can hope from them these days. You insist it was closer to the square. I remember a fountain and blue shutters on the windows. You are certain there were no shutters and no fountain, but there was a bar next door. On that we both agree. They played the Gypsy Kings all night, making it impossible to sleep. Not that we slept much, you say, and I laugh, and our adult children are less amused. Settled finally at a table near the harbour, having recognised nothing, you briefly cover my hand with yours, winking as you pass the bread, and our precise whereabouts, as always, become immaterial. This is a poem, a short poem. I'm conscious that you've had a lot of poetry this afternoon, but I agreed that I would read a few, and so this poem is called Moving Out, for another of my daughters. It was the summer that she announced, I'm moving out and I'm moving in with him, and there is nothing you can do about it. Moving out. You said he loved you and that you loved him, as if that was all there was to say. So I held my tongue all summer until it got too heavy. Then a week before you left, I made my salad without the olives. 2 days later, I made my apple tart without the cloves. Your last night at home, after the car was packed and the house was finally quiet, I added an extra quilt, stuffing it in as if my life depended on it, or yours. Sometimes that is all a mother can do. Leave things out or add things in, hoping through a sequence of tiny gestures to tell the whole story. One thing I never said is that neither of us are ready for this goodbye, though only one of us sees it now. By the time the other figures it out, winter will have come, at which point an extra quilt will be essential. Tuesday evening. It is possible for a woman of a certain age to walk into a room and, finding a man of a certain age sleeping on the sofa, stop in her tracks, while the negative of the boy she loved to the point of distraction floats before her. In that instant, before she boils water for pasta, She runs over what years of the tide going in and out has left her, the flotsam and jetsam salvaged from the storms, what it was like before time took everything that wasn't tied down, evenings that came and went just like this one, where snow fell or nothing at all happened, and nothing of importance was said. What she has wagered, won and lost, what she has held back and what she has held on to, the memory of a girl who could not breathe unless it was the same air he was breathing, love's tiny traces, the hunger for a royal flush that has kept her at the table. And the last poem, I haven't actually read this poem in public before, but after yesterday, it's the only thing that I can think of doing in the wake of the news that we heard from Tuam. It's called Laundry. My grandfather sent everything to the nuns for a thorough cleaning, including my mother. Fervently they washed every stain away, held us up to the light, so there's hardly a trace of me left in her or her left in me. Things are forever getting separated in the wash. A fawn silk stocking, a tiny pink sock with no matcher, the price to be paid for getting your laundry done. And if anyone else is feeling like I am, I think it's time that we repeal the 8th. Thank you very much and thank you.
Congratulations to Mary on that wonderful poetry collection. The best way we can show our appreciation is by going down and buying the book. But I think above all what we need to do is to go and buy Alan's books, dig deep in our pockets. We can have all the gratitude in the world, but what he really needs is money, just to be crude about it. So let's clear him out of the books down the back. Thank you all very much.
So, final words. Mary Coll's book is the 199th book I have published.
Wow, it's amazing.
The 200th book I published was Christmas, and it's Evan Boland Inside History, which is edited by Siobhan Campbell and Nessa O'Mahony, Extraordinary Collection. And for all of you who have Washing Windows Irish Women Write Poetry, this is a book in honour of Catherine Rose and Evan Boland. This is the 201st book. Now, most of those 201 books have received no public funding. I've been very lucky that I had a bank manager in Galway and a credit union in Galway and a bank manager in Dublin, and none of them knew about each other. In the days when you could get away with that. I have only contempt for the Arts Council, I have to say, and I want to say something political. There are many organisations receiving Arts Council money who deserve it, but there are a small number of organisations that receive massive amount of money in the arts here. It's called overfunding, and those decisions are made on political grounds. So actually many of the women who are here, who are in these books, their books have been refused funding from the Arts Council. They're not refused on talent, they're refused on political grounds. There's no point complaining to the Arts Council because you will be blacklisted, as I have been over the years. The only way to complain is to complain to TVs, because the Arts Council is using taxpayers' money to fund the arts. But during the recession, when they closed down many organisations and many people in the arts lost their jobs, the Arts Council continued to fund a small number of organisations excessively, and again, for political reasons. So the only way to stop that is through political talk. The Arts Council is independent, and this year Ireland House has received the smallest grant in publishing from the Arts Council for one book for €6,000. Other organisations got a couple of £100,000 for less than I publish. And again, that is not a reflection on Ireland House, it's a reflection on the corruption of the Arts Council, of the people that they put on so-called expert panels who are not expert and who make decisions on political grounds, on friendship grounds. So that's my political speech. I normally don't rant like that, but I wanted to say it. That the Arts Council has never stopped me from doing what I do, because you can actually make books work by promoting them. So the massive funding that is given to literature is actually not necessary. if they reduce some of the grants to the overfunded organisations, there could be more bursaries for writers who need money to survive. So again, the only way for you all to address that is to talk to your local TDs. But as I say, that has never stopped me publishing, and I survived